Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully my internet woes will be taken care of tomorrow morning. The attack is coming tomorrow between 8 and 11 a.m. I am so happy. I couldn't even switch to trying to use the cellular network or what have you. It turns out my phone was obsolete. And it is not arriving until at least today by 6 at the earliest. Yeah, but here we are. But I'm still going to answer your questions to the best of my ability. So thank you for your patience with this technical mess. But anyway. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your best wishes and your wishing me luck, especially for tomorrow. Something I was going to say. What was it? I can't remember. Well, I'm glad you like the border. All right, so I'm going to go over here so I can pull up. I'm going to see if I can copy some of your questions into the. See if I can copy your questions into the description box, and then I will go back later and I will clean up, make it as accurate as possible, and I will timestamp. Okay, but for now, let's go back up here. All right, so YouTube has already cut some stuff off. What do we got here? Do we still see things here? All right, they're still sort of showing up here, but I can't copy and paste out of StreamYard. Looking for anything in all caps. And the first question I see is from Victoria at 12:07. So let me see if I can pull that up. I have two questions already to start with. Oh, sorry. If you're watching this on replay, hello, you can go down into the description box after I'm done here. Sometimes it takes me just a little bit of time, but I go in and I put all the questions from today in the description box and I timestamp them. So you can go into exactly what you're interested in, get in, get out. And, listen to me chit chat with everybody. 10% of all income that comes into the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. It's an ongoing thing. And do put your questions in all caps in the chat. It's first come, first serve. But there's some questions I have to follow my intuition. Sometimes I'm just not getting anything. I get an empty room feeling. Or sometimes the question itself might be too vague and I'm not quite sure. Or it's very random, as in someone who hasn't been in the news for a year or two. And if you know something that's going on, let me know, because I want to stay on what's happening, but there's so much happening. We can fill this out completely with things that are people are losing sleep about right now. So I'd rather focus on that. But anyway, Dave's saying I'm spoiled. Oh, you're in LA. My neighbor just brought over coffee and cheesecake. Oh, that's sweet. I don't know why, Dave. I was picturing you in the Keys. I don't know why. I was picturing you in the Keys or the Bahamas or something. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. All right. So back here. Okay, Victoria was asking, will Mitch McConnell ever face legal trouble? All right, so let's put this in here. Okay. Let me grab some other questions here. The two questions I have already, is Trump turning on Weisselberg? He has been removed from 40 Trump companies, not just the two golf courses in Scotland. So is Trump turning on Weisselberg? And the second question is Trump cracking under the pressure? He's spouting literally completely random numbers at this point. And Yeah. And I don't mean mentally like, oh, he's so old. See, I don't agree with this idea that, well, he's so old or he has dementia, so because that means he won't be held accountable for what he's done. And I'm not going to assume that. Considering the amount of pressure that Trump is under and the amount of drama he has lived in himself and forced everybody else to live in for his entire life, I would have cracked. I would have just not been able to function. I mean, heck, I've actually, technically, I've been there myself. But not the huge illegal thing and what have you. I mean, PTSD hits you hard enough, you stop functioning for a while. But is he just not so I want to look at, is he cracking under the pressure, but not in the sense of, oh, the poor darling. No, he's not a poor darling. No. Anyway, so I do want to look at those two, plus it's actually this question about Mitch will be number 3. So, oh, what just happened? Oh, it accidentally grabbed that and erased the whole thing. Okay, but we're good. We're good. Okay, so that's there. What else have we got here, wonderful people? Thank you so much for being here and for your questions. Victoria is also asking, will Democrats finally get tough with Republicans before August is over? You know what? These are important questions. These are important topical questions. So 5. Okie dokie. Thank you, Victoria. Steve has a question. If they could build a pipeline from Canada to the Gulf for oil, could they build a pipeline from the Pacific Ocean to Death Valley and create a new lake? It would massively change the West environment. Oh, there's a thought. Let's have a look at that. I like this kind of out of the box thinking. Actually, there's going to be kind of a prequel question too. Something that came up earlier, which was basically, and I'll answer this in just a second. There was a question that was like the first one put up, which was asking, is Trump Q? I will pull a card on that, but I think we need to discuss why that is highly unlikely, because I think people are giving him too much credit, and because of that, they themselves are losing sleep. They themselves are making him out to be a more powerful boogeyman than he actually is in reality. So he's not saying he's not scary. Oh, we know he's scary, but we can talk about that in just a minute, at least briefly, just to get everybody. You know, I want you to sleep well at night. That's important to me. That's the main reason I'm here. I mean, I was doing these readings on my own before I even had this channel. And then I realized, people are freaking out. I was actually starting to do readings for people who were coming to me freaking out. And it was like, okay, well, if these people are doing this, they need this help, then what can I do to help? All right. Okay. I was also just checking the speed on my internet to see if this is any better, and it's not. Mute that. All right. Let's look for some more questions here. Thank you, Tuxedo Cat. Ellie's asking, will the U.S. and Russia ever go into physical war with each other? Oh, gosh, I hope not, but let's have a look. Okay, and down to question 8. Oh, all right. Where am I? YouTube dumped me out. Oh, okay. I don't think it's cut me off. No, it hasn't. Hey, now we're cooking with gas. Robin E is asking, was Eric Prince involved in any way with the assassination of Haiti's leader? I looked at that. Was it day before yesterday? When did I look at that? I have looked at that recently. Eric Prince. It was sometime in. I'm pretty sure it was sometime in the last week. If you do a search on the main page of the channel, it should come up. Just put in. Here we go. It was on Friday, July 9th. Was Eric Prince involved in the Haiti assassination? It was a question asked by Kashmir, and it is at 54 minutes and 30 seconds. So, okay. I hope that helps. Christine, much success. Oh, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you. Thank you, Mims. You guys are so great. Oh, Cindy, if Soul Prince Hero Hit Mother just passed. Oh, absolutely. Sending all the love in the world. Man. That's yeah. Okay. Whew, okay. Here we go. What else have we got here? Okay, AMC. What will be the outcome of the investigation? Okay, there was the death of an unarmed teen, Hunter Britton, by police. His family has requested help from George Floyd's legal team. Okay. For a second there, I was confused because I saw the name Britain and my brain was saying UK. Sorry. Spent 20 years married to an Englishman. These are the things that happen. All right. Shirley Kent's asking, will the Dems in Texas win out? I think it's going to be, I think the state's going purple. But I think, I'm not even sure, I'm getting kind of an empty room feeling. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no. This isn't in general the election. You're talking about the Democrats who got on the bus and went, yes, absolutely, we're looking at that. Thank you for reminding me. This isn't just in general. Yes, those amazing, the Democrats who've gone to, will the Dems, especially from Texas, going to Washington, D.C., win out. Absolutely. Let's look at that. Got it. Thank you. Oh, where am I? And M. Kelpie, will the people who attacked Biden's bus in Texas be held accountable? I thought they were. I thought they already were. I thought there was already, let me know. I thought that was, yeah, surely I've got, awesome. I don't, I thought they were. So, Lynn Halliday was asking, is Trump Q? Copy. Put your name here for now. And Desert Dawn. Is there a Trump presidential portrait, and do we have to see it hung in the White House? That could be a nice that could be a nice kind of lesson, just take a breather kind of question. We need some of those. Okay, and I'm taking question 11 here, so we will be starting here shortly. And oh, Linda Kingsley likes purple on me. Says it's my color. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Pegasus is asking, what's the future for Mary Trump? She has a lawsuit against her demented uncle. I've read on that multiple times. That she's going to get some money out of that. But we should check, because that amount she's going to get may be dropping. That potential may be dropping with every single day that goes by. So we're going to have a look at that. Thank you, Pegasus. Okay. And all right. And then the 12th question here is going to be Carl. He's asking, what do Republicans fear the most? Oh, that's a question. That is a question. So I'll get rid of that, and I'll just do that. All right, so I have my 12 questions for today. Okay. Save. All right, a little bit of a mess in there, but we've got them. All right, so I will minimize this, move this over, and pull this out so I can see the questions. And I will start with the readings. Good, there we go. I will. And go here. Okay. Oh, Teresa's saying Boo Boos and Kitty's having trouble getting comfy without a blankie. Oh, well, it's in the wash. He'll get a blankie soon enough. But he's been spending most of his time on the other chair, and now he's back over here. So, little sweetheart. Pegasus, Mary Trump's been a bit quiet. Has another book coming out. Time for an update. Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Okay. I have the rack. I have got the cards. And I have got and the thou. Thank you. All right. Hot chick. Do you believe Trump will try to use Weasselbutt as their fall guy? Stay out of joke. Weasselbutt. I needed that. Thank you. Weasselbutt. I think that's a real possibility, and that's actually where we're starting today. Oh, Lynn. Oh, thank you for that. What hair products do I use? I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll do a behind the scenes. It's nothing really special. I did a while ago switch to, as I'm shuffling, just filling this in. I did switch to L'Oreal. What do you call it? The one with the, is it argan oil or whatever, something like that. Shampoo and conditioner. But I think what has helped my hair the most is all the years of letting it air dry. And pinning it up before I went to sleep at night to get it to curl rather than using curling irons or rollers or what have you. Matter of fact, probably the worst thing for my hair is I finally got one of those Revlon brush blow dryers. Love that thing, but it can't be good for my hair. I did get some heat protectant, but it smells like hairspray. It's not nice. These are the things I have to think about, people. Holly and friends, I call him Trumple thin skin. I like it. I like it. Paul is saying she eats healthy. As a hairdresser for 30 years, that works better than any product on the hair. Well, thank you for saying that. I eat way too much sugar. Thank you. Thank you. I am, anyway, all right, so things are nice and well shuffled, and the energy feels much better, kind of cleared out. Okay. GM Dave had a great answer for what do Republicans fear. Oh, wait. Hey, Ron. It's a ways back, so I won't. Yeah, I can't see it easily. Okay. All right. So at 22, is Trump turning on Weasel? It's so childish, but these people are so awful. Jean, lovely hair, retired hairdresser, 34 years. Oh, oh, seriously. The hairdressers are you take such risks with your health, and you do so much good to help people. Thank you. Thank you for all of that incredibly hard work and all the chemicals you've been exposed to and just helping people. It makes much more of a difference than you ever get credit for. Okay. Gary, I'm not going to disagree that politics is childish. So is Trump, I think it's 23, is Trump turning on Weisselberg? Ooh. The energy says yes. Says, oh yes. The energy says pancake, turning before anybody can turn on Trump. He's turning on them. Flip, flip, flip. Against you, against you, against you, against you. Not legally, but personally. Anyway, but what does the card say? Is Trump turning on Weisselberg? And if he's turning on Weisselberg, he's turning on Weisselberg's kids, Weisselberg's family. They have been partners for decades. They haven't been close. Apparently Weisselberg couldn't just go into Trump's office and, hey, how's it going? And have a chatty conversation. They never had that kind of relationship, but they've been working together. Not Fred. He started working for Fred as an accountant in 1973. Literally, I was 1 or 2, probably 1, because I was born late in the year. So my entire lifetime, plus maybe 1 year, they've been working together. He's been working for the family. And you're going to turn on him now? Yeah. Yes, indeedy. All right, what have we got here? We have got strength. Whoops. We've got 3 of Pentacles. We've got 5 of Pentacles. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. We've got the 5 of Swords, the legal insult to injury card, and we have the sitting pretty 9 of Pentacles. Okay. For all of Fred Trump's faults, and I think we can all agree he had many, not that any of us are perfect, but yeah, he actually had a very pedestrian kind of business. It's one of the things Trump wanted is he wanted to get out of Queens, and he wanted to be in really high society, and he wanted to do all this other stuff. And what he saw his father doing, he thought was kind of boring. Then again, his father wanted the success that would come with that kind of thing. But this is how Weisselberg started with the Trump family. But the center card is the Five of Pentacles. This is the out in the cold. And strangely enough, these figures feel like Trump is afraid for his kids being out in the cold, which is just bizarre because he's a raging narcissist. But then again, if you think about it, he does see them as extensions of him, sort of. But anyway, winter is coming. So this is insult to injury and sitting pretty. Oh, you've got money, and whatever tax issues you've got to deal with, you can deal with it. But we're going to be fine, because insult to injury, swords are legal matters. We're not going to be out in the cold. You're going to be out in the cold. We are going to cut you out. Thank you, Jean. And so we are going to be fine. Ooh, and the card just sitting here is the Eight of Swords, just being legally hemmed in as Weisselberg becomes more and more legally hemmed in. All right, is this going to turn to like full-blown, all-out, he's the scapegoat? I didn't know anything. Ivanka, who Weisselberg has literally been taking care of the finances of the company her entire life. But I don't even know what I don't even know what his title is. I didn't really work with him. Pardon? Excuse me. Seriously, I assume she just really thinks people are that stupid, or that she can just get away with anything. Anywho, so is Weisselberg the scapegoat now? Because Weisselberg will flip on you if pushed hard enough. And that's what I've picked up him doing. Leave it to Trump to shoot himself in the foot, because you've got to remember, he's got that mentality of a medieval king. I am the king. Everyone owes me loyalty. I owe no one loyalty. I am the center. I am chosen by God. I am ruler by divine right. I owe you nothing, but you will risk everything. You will lose your family. You will lose your life. You will lose everything in service of me. That's Trump's view. Knight of Cups, going to Weisselberg with an offer. Does it get worse and worse for him, or as Trump's pushing him further and further out? the investigators, the prosecutors, what have you, going to Weisselberg and saying, hey, don't you want to save your family? Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Oh, okay, let me just look at the rest of the cards. World card in the center, Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. Sorry. I was thinking about four different things at the same time, and that did not compute correctly. Okay. So this I find amusing. This is the Four of Wands. This is the card of vacation or retirement, but because Trump is the King of Wands, and that whole wand energy of fire signs and taking action, but can also be negative or fascist in his case. This is his base of power, which is his company, which is his properties, which is what he does, how he does it. This feels like Trump is not only pushing Weisselberg out and trying to make him a scapegoat, he's blaming Weisselberg why the Trump family business is struggling. I left you in charge of this with my sons. We've lost all this money. Well, there was a pandemic, you moron, that you exacerbated in a massive way to the tune of quite possibly hundreds of thousands of American lives lost. But, oh no, of course, it's never him who's done wrong. This feels like, well, this company's losing money. How good is he? This is the end of their relationship. This is the end of the road. End of the chapter, end of the book, end of the road. And Weisselberg is going to have huge legal worries. And on top of that, it feels like it may not have happened yet, but it's coming, where he's going to have to withstand attacks and public attacks from the family, from Trump himself. So, yeah. Holly's saying nothing is ever his fault. He always blames everyone else for his failures. That is absolutely true. Dave is saying he's also setting Junior up for the fall. His voice is quick look. Curious. Magician. Junior's been Junior's been working harder to stay in Trump's good graces, communicating the message. Oh, but that's aggressive law enforcement, and they already have. Wait for the evidence. Wait until we start seeing the evidence. We will see who's going to be the scapegoat. They're going to wait to a certain extent. Trump's going to blame Weisselberg for the state of the business, the things he did, absolutely. But what ultimately is going to be their story is going to be based on what evidence the prosecutors are bringing, because they can't rely on the truth. Wait for the evidence, because it's coming, and it's well organized, and it's right four corners. Here you go. There, Judge. There's the evidence. It's coming. So that's what I'm getting for that. Okay, wait, Diana B, super great news. Can we believe it? What? What great news? Oh, do share. Okay, at 35:30 is Trump cracking under the pressure. Okay. So is Trump cracking under the pressure? And as I said when I was telling you guys about this question at the beginning, for those who are watching on replay, hello. When I say cracking under the pressure, I don't mean, oh, the poor dear has dementia and he should just be put quietly somewhere and not be held accountable for his crimes. I don't mean that kind of cracking. I mean the kind where it's, because at this point he's literally just spouting random numbers. He can't even keep his numbers straight. He's not even trying. How many votes he needed, how many votes were stolen, how many, I mean, there's a lot of the stuff he's saying. It's just, yeah, and is he cracking under the pressure? Trying to get his energy here. Where are you, Trump? He doesn't want to be found? This is weird. I'm getting this mental image of him like railing against me. Because everyone's a bloodsucker. Everybody's using him. Everybody. You're a public figure. You have a lot. You wield a lot of power. You have also allegedly broken a lot of laws, and you are very, very likely the greatest public menace in the United States in my lifetime. I am a total bleeding heart, except when it comes to fascists. So I'm going to guess you're cracking under the pressure. I don't think he's used to people fawning over him, but I don't think he's used to people being honest with integrity around him. Like he would almost like just deflate and be like, okay, because no, he'd still try to lie. But there's this part of him that it's like, oh, okay. Weird. So I'm guessing you're cracking under the pressure. I don't care how old you're getting. I don't want to hear about anything. I don't want to hear about anything that has hair on it. Nothing. I just want to know inside. Brain. Yes, his world is crashing down. Page of Swords. 5 of Pentacles. High Priestess. 3 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Trying to sneak around the back. It's like almost like this is these two pillars. It's like they're trying to sneak around the back to get rid of stuff or hide information, but it's too late. And they're being watched. And then they're going to have destruction of evidence. Oh, the irony, the whole lock her up thing. They're going to destroy evidence. And they already have. Is what it feels like. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. This is like sneakily trying to. Yes, I'm the big bully standing up here, but he's just financially. I've explained it this way before. You can think of his entire financial life as like a great big bucket, and as long as there's enough money pouring into the top of it, he can kind of be this big and float in the middle of that amount of water and say, look how rich I am. Look how rich. Constantly rich. But the reality is there's this massive hole in the corner of that bucket, or the edge of that bucket. And so that money that's coming in is going straight out. And the second the water coming in slows down, he's toast. So he has to stand up there. He has to go out there and hawk his story. But all this stuff going on in secret behind he thinks is higher wisdom. I don't pay taxes because I'm smart. Mm-hmm. I'm getting his world coming down around him. I'm getting his coping mechanisms, which is bullying. Which actually leads me to it was going to be the first question, but I'll answer this now, sort of. Let me see, 42, 30. Okay. The question was, and it may seem, you may immediately say, oh, I know the answer to that, but hear me out. Bear with me here. The question was, is Trump Q? Oh, hang on a second. I need to close this door. Okay, sorry about that. But before you go, oh no, this couldn't possibly be, what a ridiculous thought. One of the things that I have combated in my time running this channel for several years now is this idea that Trump is, I've heard people swear up and down Trump is a master manifester, and that he is, this is a part of his soul contract, and this is destined, and he's going to create a new full-blown civil war, and he's going to just all of these stories or ideas that would make him bigger and stronger and unstoppable, and the past 4 years have been beyond frustrating, and yes, they have been scary. But there's certain circumstances that fell into place that allowed this to happen. But it isn't that Trump is special. He's not. And you can one of the things I do like to, I think when things get out of proportion, I think it can be helpful sometimes as a thought experiment to just imagine like the people you knew in high school, kind of reduce everyone down to, what was this person in high school? And to some extent, maybe cliches to a point, but was this person the popular jock? Was this person the popular nerd? was, or honorary popular genius, was this person the opinionated art kid? That would be me. And make no mistake, Trump was the bully. He was the mean, vicious bully. And who, I mean, he was in trouble in school for bullying, and back in the day, boys will be boys. So bullying was more accepted, bullying among boys. And oh, I'm so sorry. I don't do personal readings. Is this political readings only? Sorry. But Trump is a bully, and he's a vicious bully. And he has managed to get where he is, one, because his father had a lot of money. And two, he's a white man in a patriarchal society whose father had a lot of money. And there have been no consequences in our society for him being cruel. So he just keeps doing it. And he's always done it. And he likely always will. So if you deal with if you have to deal with people, like even when I worked, I don't know, at the bookstore or front desk at the airport or whatever it was, there are some people, they are so awful, you're finally just like, fine, take it. Fine, just whatever. It's not worth fighting you over this. And you can't say that because you're an employee, but you're just like, here you go. And then you go to your boss, you're like, you know what? I don't even care. I'll pay the $20 for that, whatever. I don't care. I could not deal with that anymore. And that's what he's done to people. He's not special. He's just mean, unrelentingly cruel. But he's not a master manifester. He's not special. He's not chosen by any god. He's just one of us. He's just a person. That's it. So is he Q? No. And frankly, Q isn't Q. The energy's all tangled. Different people have taken up the moniker. No, this nonsense isn't. There's legal trouble coming for people espousing or trying to pretend that they're the leaders of this garbage. Domestic terrorism is what it's going to come down to. And yeah, the big boogeyman on the other side of the aisle is saying, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. We're dealing with the men behind the curtains. So I just want you to know that do not let anyone build him up in your mind to he's the great and terrible Oz. Nah. And if you think about it, from the Wizard of Oz, the great and terrible Oz himself, he was a jerk. The big flashy thing and scaring people, and he was a crappy leader of the Emerald City. If that was his normal way of doing things, he was scaring everybody in the Emerald City. Thus endeth the lesson on what's wrong with patriarchy. Welcome to 2021. Okay. So at 50, All right. Nope. Oh, there they are. It's right there. All right. So, will Mitch McConnell ever face legal trouble? All right. It must be more like 50-30. Legal trouble. Oh, Mitchie. Mitchie. Make this 51. Mitch face legal trouble. Someone else who's rotten and gets away with it. Actually, his wife may end up in some legal trouble eventually. Eight of Swords. Well, if any of that kind of stuff's going to happen, somebody should get on with it. Okay, it's getting really dark in here. Okay, anyway. Fool. Seven of Wands. Thank heaven Trump is gone, but I'm still having to deal with I'm still on the defensive for things Trump did, but rebuilding to win back the Senate, High Priestess through any nefarious means, and just be a bully. That's the thing. They bookend here, and it almost loops back in on itself. I don't want to be like Trump. I'm having to clean up after him. I'm going to pull this party back together through, if you don't want to know, and not civil war or something like that, but just underhanded, normal garbage he does. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be strong. You mean you're going to be a bully? You mean you're going to be like Trump? And they're very separate here. But they're so similar. They're so similar. So that's what he's trying to do. But are you going to face legal issues? Are you going to be hauled into court for something? Are you going to be worried? Okay, suddenly cards are coming off the top of the deck. That's usually very straightforward. It becomes very straightforward energy. 10 of Pentacles. I have my dynasty. I have my legacy. Okay. 5 of Cups. He loves nothing more than to disappoint Democrats. That's his favorite thing. Really? You took this great gift of life, and that's what you've made of it. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. And get rich. Ace of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, King of Cups, Sun. I'm not getting him being in legal trouble. Certainly not anytime soon. I'm getting he wants to take. I'm the only one standing in the way of those Democrats taking all of your hard-earned money and trying to just redistributing all the wealth and living in some sort of fake utopia. And again, it loops back. And I love nothing more than to frustrate Democrats who are trying to take your hard-earned money, blah, blah, blah. The makers and the takers and Okay, I'm leaving his energy over there because it's gross. It's just toxic. And I'm surprised. I swear sometimes I'm surprised Mitch McConnell doesn't glow like a green barrel of toxic waste in a 90s video game. Jeez. Okay. So we are at 56. Will Democrats finally get tough with Republicans before August? Okay. Dems get tough. With Republicans. Okay, before August. Democrats finally get tough with Republicans. Basically this month. The rest of this month, will Democrats finally, feels like 3 cards, will Democrats finally get tough with Republicans? Judgment. All right, that's elections. Hermit. Ace of Wands. 3 of Wands. Not yet. I'm getting a feeling of not yet. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. This month, it's not going to look like it. Next month, it may not even look like it. Thank you, Pamela. That means a lot to me. Thank you. This month may not. Okay, this is just Republicans going about their merry little nasty business. Throwing things at the wall, seeing what'll stick. Putting stuff out there. Is that working? Is that working? Is that upsetting people? Or is that riling up our base? Is that getting us attention? Is that getting us more money? Okay. They're just going to be doing this. Their usual garbage. The Democrats are gathering information. They're gathering cases. They're gathering all kinds of things and looking very, very carefully. Because it's this year where we're going to see a lot of indictments or cases brought or things come out through the rest of this year, because it's in 2022. All the way up to Election Day, things are going to go to court. Right up into Election Day. They're preparing for 2022. Later this year, but then in 2022, because right underneath that, Tower. They're playing the long game. The Republicans think they've still got free reign. They're still walking. Gates is still walking around. Gates is walking around. Everybody's just still walking around. No harm's happening to us. So they're just playing their little games, and they feel like little games. Republicans, they're not playing. We just can't see it right now. These are 3 major arcana of we're not playing. Go ahead. Do your little stupid things. Very strongly. So that's what's going on behind the scenes. Okay. What was next? Oh, we're going to save Steve's environmental question toward the end. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, Ellie wanted to know, will the U.S. and Russia ever go into physical war? And I'm going to include, let's say this is at 1 hour. Okay. Let me just shuffle here. All right, so the question is from Ellie, will the USA and Russia ever go into physical war with each other? Here's the thing. I'm going to include even smaller skirmishes because I'm not asking, it doesn't have to be full-blown, we're invading Russia, Russia's invading the US. We're invading each other's homeland and all of that. And I'm not just including that. I'm including sudden pain in my jaw. It's weird. Thank you, Marby. Thank you. But more than just cyber, although cyber can do plenty of physical damage, but something that is more than just cyber. USA and Russia. Something more than just, ransomware and that kind of stuff. USA and Russia. They don't want to. The spirits of the USA and the spirit of Russia, they don't want to fight. For what it's worth. The actual spirits of the country, they don't want to fight. They really don't. They're mostly made up of just people who are going about their lives and they have history and they have seen too much blood. And as spirits, they want to do more than just dominate. They want to thrive. They want their people to thrive. Thank you, Lady Farley. Thank you. Those are very sweet. All right. Happy families. Cue up Sting's. What was the name of the song? But the chorus was, I hope the Russians love their children too. Yeah. Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Swords. Saber rattling. Oh, look at that. 6 of Swords. 2 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. So, I'm okay, Dave. I'm okay. I'll just go on with this here. It's Cold War and all it. Russia's relationship with the U.S. it waxes and wanes and well, it doesn't wax and wane as in it gets really good. It's more just like we don't entirely hate each other. Okay, at least at the governmental levels, and then it's okay. We really hate each other. All of this. I've got 3 cards right here in the center, which could potentially be these are weapons. These are very sharp, nasty weapons. And this is aggressive action. And this is maybe moving some weapons around. And this is a choice whether or not to use the weapons. And you think, oh, that could be scary. But if you look at the cards, it's like the energies. You've got Major Arcana at the beginning. And then you have what I call the loudest knight. You could just hear the clanking of the armor and the hoofbeats of the horse and the all of this and the wind whistling and all of that. But it's like the energy starts up right here and then yes and then it just kind of and then it's like and let's go to work. Is there, penny ante stuff going on? Yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't go, the energy doesn't climb. It really doesn't. The cards don't say it climbs, and it doesn't feel like it climbs. No. Too interesting. The Russians love their children too. They do. So I'm getting a bunch of garbage. Little here, little there, little this, little that, little, but mostly, go back to work. I'll take that as good news. Okay. So, where are we? Okay. All right, let's go on to Shirley's question about, okay, we're at 106. Texas Democrats go to Washington, D.C. Okay, so what's going on is basically Texas. Oh, thank you, Akira. Thank you. Basically, what's happening is that the Texas state legislature is very heavily Republican and is going on this absolute power-hungry tear to do everything they can to limit people's voting rights, to disenfranchise, to gerrymander, to you name it. Just absolutely off the deep end into voter suppression. Feet first, cannonball, deepest part. So, political, Kara, I only do political questions here. And they're first come, first serve. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for political questions, but you just have to be here early. That's all. You just put them in all caps in the chat. I'm here literally every day of the year. Literally every day, every holiday, every weekend, weekday, you name it. Okay. So that's what the Texas state legislature is doing. And some of those cards were upside down. All right. So anyway, apparently, I guess this is a good way to shuffle the cards. So basically what's happened is that the Democrats in the Texas state legislature have basically done various things to try and stop the Republicans from getting away with all of this voter suppression and nastiness and what have you. And one of the first things they did is the Republicans were trying to get through some horrible bill really late at one night. And so the Democrats, basically, they all just, in ones and twos, just kind of got up to as if they were going to, go back to their office for a minute or what have you, and they left. But they didn't get up en masse and go. They just, but it got to the point where there were so many. They actually met down the street, I guess, in a church building. But the Republicans basically looked up and it was like, oh, we can't take a vote. There isn't a quorum. And if you're wondering what a quorum is, Google. Google is your friend. Oh, great Google, we beseech you for information. So now, Democrats, apparently this happened before. Oh my gosh, what year was it? Was it 93? Not sure. Apparently this has happened before. Republicans going off the deep end. Democrats get up and leave. And apparently the last time this happened, and of course, I'm not good. My brain, not great with the numbers. It was either 53 or 93 or something. There was actually a standoff with state police and stuff. I mean, it was a mess. So this time, what the Democrats have decided to do is say, fine, we're going to get on a bus and we're going to Washington, D.C. to tell them there how important voting rights are, voting protections are. So, having explained all of that, how's this going to go? Is this going to change things up? Wheel of Fortune. Could be good, could be bad. Depends on where you are on the wheel. Okay, 6 of Pentacles, King of Cups, 2 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, King of Wands. The upshot is the far right getting more power. The centrist, more centrist Republicans who are trying to work with anybody, even on the state level, losing power. So the Republican Party becoming more extreme. And this is so this is going to continue. And their hatred is centered, he's communicating this right-wing fascism. I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's looking at him. That's Biden. If you give anything, if you give any quarter to Democrats, you are a traitor. Murkowski is the state Democratic Party of Alaska, is endorsing a far right-wing candidate against Senator Murkowski, endorsing that extremism. It's happening in some other states as well. I know at least one other. This is actually just pushing things farther and further. Farther and farther is not literal. Well, I guess technically it is farther and farther, since they're on their way to Washington, D.C. Far is a distance, a physical distance. Further is a more something cerebral, like something you would think of, or I'm being pushed further and further along my patience or getting, whatever. But I'm in a bus getting farther and farther away from Texas and toward Washington, D.C. So, is the ploy going to work? Because it's right now the energy's looking like things are just going to veer. Texas is going to keep veering even farther right. Yep. Republicans. I get cups for Democrats, pentacles for Republicans, and wands for fascist, right-wing, ultra-right-wing stuff. This is card for the reading. Actual just Republicans losing power. This is the card of the thief. There's the hanged man. And there's the Queen of Wands. And this Queen of Wands is getting scarier every day. Because this is people who are politically married to Trump. So, stealing votes, stopping people from voting, whatever it takes. Suspend all voting. Robin saying Texas Republicans voted to track down and arrest the Dems who left. More and more extreme. Yep. So that's what's going on with that. Does this get Democrats into power in Texas? Let's have a look at that. 115. To power in Texas. It's very sad. But standing up for what's right. Bless them. Mims, arrest them on what the heck grounds. I'm with you, but they'll come up with some cockamamie plan. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, are you basically guaranteeing that Democrats take control of the governorship and or Congress, state legislature in coming up? Because I think someone mentioned Abbott is up for re-election this year. Not sure. Thought it was next year. I don't know. It's been a long time since I lived there. Are you basically handing the government control, state government control over to the Democrats with your extremism? The card of the bully. And it's a sword, so it can be legal matters like arresting the Democrats for going to Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. 3 of Swords, High Priestess. 2 of... So this is lovely energy. This is the damage the Republicans want to do to voting rights. They want to do it in secret. They want to just go under the radar. So Democrats are partnering together using some higher wisdom and the truth with the Ace of Swords to put the truth, this is a partnership right in the center, to put the sword of truth, swords of truth, into these, the backs of, the metaphorical back, no real violence. But so in something like this, it's like, okay, well, why doesn't this say that Republicans are going to be successful if they've? It's because this is a sword. This is a sword of truth. This is it cuts through the crown. It knocks apart the laurel, resting on your laurels. In the Rome, they would have the laurel crowns, Caesar and whatnot. So the set, you basically take the most powerful card, which is this Democratic partnership right at the center, which has lovely energy. What's on either side of it? Higher wisdom or secrets, sword of truth. Okay, what does that lead to? Well, this is the beginning of the reading. This is the end of the reading. They're both swords going into the fleshy bits, metaphorically speaking. So this power is going outwards from here as far as meaning goes, but as far as what's going to happen, it starts here. This is what they're doing. The Republicans are doing, and then it goes along. So they're wielding the sword against their opponents. That's what that means. I'm trying to explain things more. I hope it helps. I don't know if I'm still going to be able to keep up with 12 questions at 12, but I'm going to try. So, any more information? Oh, this is that extremist right, victory of the extremist right. They think they're all that. But Knight of Cups, these are Democratic knights protecting the realm. Cleaning up the burden of this extremism. Oh, right underneath this extremism, death card. And a beginning of democratic power. But let's see, what's the third card here? Judgment, headed right for election day. These extremist views are a burden. It's the Democrats who are fighting for the people. The far right, they're burdened. This is election day. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. But yeah, the Republicans, they're just getting the more they are losing. Oh, good memes. The more they are losing, the more extreme they're getting. And Trump was a bad influence. They think they can do anything, get away with anything. Nope. All right, so that is that. What else have I got here? All right, since I'm in this horrible, nasty energy and I've got this buzzy, horrible, buzzy feeling up around my crown chakra from this energy, let's do Carl's question at 121. What do Republicans fear most? And not the stuff they blah 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 on TV. Oh, because I don't believe for a second that when you get into real deep-seated fears, it's back of the brain stuff. Our brains. Think this is brainstem. All right, think this is the front of my brain. All right, this goes to the back of the brain. Your optic. Our eyes are so important to us that our optic parts of our brain right in the back, and then beneath that you get all the lizard brain stuff. When you're talking about fear, you're talking about stuff that hits in the lizard brain, not the little quarter-inch. I was really quite concerned when I found out just actually how small our prefrontal cortex is. It's like, oh, it's this huge thing right at the front, right? No, it's about that thick, and it's on the front, but it's like, oh, geez, that's not much. So fear wouldn't be, I'm terrified. Their greatest fear is the rise of Marxism with the liberal undertones of. No, that's not how the back of the brain works. What are you afraid of? Probably a lack of control, a fear of losing power, of losing safety, of losing fear of the other. Yes, Stephanie, the prefrontal cortex is a fragile thing. Oh, yeah. Whew. What do Republicans fear most? The kitty. Oh, they fear the cuteness. Oh, fear the cuteness. Oh, fear the cuteness. Oh, the big stretch. Oh, the big stretch. Oh, the good boy. It's a shame he can't relax. Oh, fear the bunny toes. Yes, fear the bunny toes. Power. An emperor, for anybody who doesn't know, what's the difference between a king and an emperor? An emperor is the ruler over multiple kingdoms. And there's usually no small amount of corruption involved. You think kings are bad, emperors can be so much worse. Empress, Knight of Cups, King of Swords, 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups. This starts out with Major Arcana. Then after that, it's just, this is the American ideal, waves of grain, the deep forests, and and let's face it, as Americans in general, we're not the most svelte people. That's a really comfortable dress, and good for her, because underneath that dress, traditionally the Empress is actually pregnant, but bounty, absolute bounty. And this is the compassionate night, could be the democratic night. But this is a very reasonable pace. It's not going to spook anybody. This is this can be persecution. I'm trying to search for something scary here. Is this rule of law? That's what it feels like. This is a feeling burdened. They talking about once being fascism. Well, they think the far left, they're fascists. Let's send you back to let's teach some of these people about what these terms actually mean. But the control, being controlled, and there being no place for them, being ostracized, which is part of what's ramping them up. Is there are fewer and fewer. There's even an article I just saw, I haven't read it yet, but it was talking about as far-right Christian evangelicals, as their numbers dwindle, they become more extreme. People become desperate. Their narrow view of the world is a burden, and there's no place for it in this new world. Your child might date or marry or have children with somebody who has a different skin color than you. It's a very narrow, burdened, I don't want your namby-pamby stuff. I want a white America with my gun rack and my drive-through liquor store, and it's childish. But these are grown-ups. Holly and France, you mean someone who looks the way Jesus actually looked? Yahshua? Yeah. It always, look, whatever your beliefs are your beliefs. That's fine. I find it infinitely telling that these people who are trying to force their religion on others, his name, if you could go back in time and walk up to this man, one, you get those, you wouldn't recognize him, because what you think he looks like, no. But if you even went up to him and you said Jesus, he wouldn't turn his head. That wasn't his name. You don't even have his name right. Okay. Sherry saying, I remind people all the time that Jesus was a brown-skinned Middle Eastern Jew. Mm-hmm. And he had short hair. And his name wasn't Jesus. But sure, you do you. Hello, sweetheart. Have you had about enough of this? I still have a couple of questions. Yes, I do. I still have a couple of questions I need to answer. Oh, there's a kitty. You're very precious. Did you have a good nap? Did you have a good nap? Look at that sweet face. Look at that good boy. Look at that good boy. You are precious. Yes, you are. You are precious. Good boy. Good boy. You are the good boy. You having troubles? Here, hang on. Here, come here. That was not very graceful, but there you go. Okay, he can look out the window now. Yeah, my co-host. Yes, the sweetness. Yes. Okay. Oh, Mims, thank you. Thank you for all your kindness toward the kitty. I do love him. I do love them both. Oh, one other thing. Someone is bringing up this idea that there are no white people in the Bible. What about the Romans? Hi. I just saw this little face just peek up over the side of the desk and just rub his face. I was wondering about that. It was like, what about the Romans? Anyway, what do I know? It's been a long time since I was Catholic, too. Decades. Okay. What does Boo Boo Send Kitty weigh? I can't remember. Honestly, I'll have to. I'll have to weigh him. Where are we? We've done that. A future for Mary Trump. Pegasus was asking about that. So at 1:32:30. Apparently she's got a new book coming out. And she is in psychology, so a book about healing the divide. That's good. That's always good. Mary Trump, she's taken Donnie, Uncle Donnie, back to court. Good for her. But she better hurry if she wants any of that money, because there won't be any. Somebody tells me that Trump org isn't going to be able to pull off their 7th bankruptcy. Jeanette's saying Mary isn't just suing her uncle. The money, the wealth, probably can't come from her aunts and other uncles' estate. Yes, but hopefully she gets money from all of them, but that's just my opinion. Mary Trump. Never ceases to amaze me. She's still a Trump. She has Trump energy. There's a particular Trump energy. There's a family energy. But she's like the photo negative of it. It's like, oh, this is what the whole family could have been like. In theory. But I'm not painting her as she's not a saint. I mean, none of us are. But it's just, my as I talk about my old test of if I was trapped in an elevator for an hour with this person, would I be safe? Yeah, I wouldn't have any trouble. I'd be fine. Would both be concerned. The son should be kind of hard to get to know. Like, I get very clear, like Chuck Schumer, he'd be a laugh. Standing there with his arms crossed, cracking jokes. That's what that feels like. Mary Trump should be that. There's a it's like they have a natural shell psychologically, and some of it might be genetic. Our new heroes, the new American heroes, forensic accountants. Nine of Cups. The Merchant card, the family dynasty, Ten of Cups. Ten of Pentacles, sorry. Nine of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Nine of Swords, legal worry. Tower, going kablooey. Partnership, Cups. Also, I always have to, I just want to say it's the caduceus, but it's not, the whole staff of a scapulus and all. Anyway, the medical field, helping people. The family business that tried to screw her out of a lot of money, but it's going down. She has her career to fall back on. She's had these books that she had a book come out. She's going to have another book come out. She's done other things. She's going to be fine. But this is Trump Tower. The idea of Trump Tower going kaplooey, kaboom, kabam. She better get in there quickly, because I don't like that that's ending with her career, not her. She's getting not screwed out of all that money. Good luck getting through the lies. This is actually Cups, medical field. This is it can be her trying to cut through the lies or lead us through some of the lies. Got a Star card. Three of Swords. Queen of Swords. Eight of Wands. Magician. I'm not getting an answer. I'm getting lawyers. I'm getting her becoming litigious, her saying, no, I'm not putting up with this. And Mr. TV personality star Donnie it's like, oh no, I'm the star now. You are being legally taken down. This is her. This is Trump world. The Trump's coming against her, saying all kind of bad things, but this is a very good lawyer. So I'm not getting an outcome. Better get your skates on. Whatever you're doing legally to get money from the Trump estates, plural, I'd hurry. I'd put your socks and your shoes on and okay. All right, Dawn had a question. 139:30. Trump's presidential portrait. So does anybody know if there is an official presidential Trump portrait yet? Because if there isn't, Desert Dawn was saying, is there a Trump presidential presidential portrait, and do we have to put it in the White House? So let's read on the possibility of a Trump presidential portrait and what will happen to it. Trump's oh yeah. Blech. Okay, bad energy. Why is this energy that bad? Hated. There is one, or there's going to be one, and it's going to be hung, and it is going to. There is so much hatred that is going to come against this object. I will be surprised after 50 years if the image itself doesn't look like the picture of Dorian Gray at the end. I mean, just that hideous because of the amount of hatred looked at with hatred this object is going to be. Wow. I was an art history major and I never picked up on this. Then again, I wasn't doing this kind of work back then. But, phew. Well, quiet as a tomb, so nobody around. Two of Wands, King of Wands. Oh, his communication to the world. Queen of Cups. Dr. Jill Biden saying, do we have to? What is, really? Four of, actually, didn't someone just ask, or didn't say, or was it? Mims is saying, didn't he pay for it and send it to Mar-a-Lago? Well, this is the card for Mar-a-Lago. And can we just get on with the country? The center is future presidents, the Biden administration and beyond. Can we just, whatever. Can we just go back to getting on with our lives and putting this behind us? Mar-a-Lago itself is probably going to have some issues. Do they leave it up? Do they tear it down? What are they going to do with it when all this is done? There's the main thing I'm getting is the sheer amount of people looking at it and just hatred. Looking at that monster. That. Wow. That was kind of scary. Deb at the beach. Hey, Deb, fellow writer over at Book Art Media at 4:00. Do our creative sprints. As an artist, I feel bad for anyone who would have to paint Trump's portrait. Oh, there are artists who they love it. They paint him all the time. Yeeks. Okay. And there was a nice question in here. Oh, there we go. Steve's question at, let's do 144. It was an environmental question. Okay. All right. Oh, Don, you're fine. You're fine. All right. So what Steve was saying, which is a really great thought, if they can build a pipeline from Canada to the Gulf for oil, could they build a pipeline from the Pacific Ocean to Death Valley and create a new lake? It would massively change the West's environment. Well, you'd have to constantly feed it. And it would be saltwater. Saltwater lake in the middle of Death Valley. That could get ugly. That could become a giant salt bomb as all the water keeps evaporating. Just leaving the salt and gunk. But a little minor terraforming. Something out west to help. Little minor terraforming. Four of Cups. Environmentalists wanting to do things and of course people getting in the way. But let's see. Mims says there are new desalination methods being researched as we speak. Good. Steve saying, granted, the political opposition would be massive. Dang. The card of refusal. Oh. All right, 7 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, Temperance, World. Interesting. Look at this. Tempering the world. Tempering. We have definitely stolen from the planet. Thrown things out of balance. And ignored it. This is vacation, retirement. I used to call this my cruise ship card. Like they're at a port. Hey, let's go shop for some pottery or something. Center. Businesses, more registered B corporations, more money toward fixing environmental damage. And look at this Temperance card. Water being poured from cup to cup. His foot in a lake. It's got a triangle on the center of his chest there, and of course these things have their own traditional symbolism, but to me I use the triangle as shorthand for change when I'm writing. In the world, new way of doing things. There's some, Steve, you might, I don't know about that particular thing, but there's definitely some possibility here. I like it. All right. That's going to do it for me for today. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question, but I did do 12 today, and I will be back tomorrow. I'm literally here every day of the year, weekends, weekdays, your birthday, my birthday, holidays, you name it, I'm here. All right. So in 2 hours, I will be over on the Book Art Media channel to do creative sprints. If you are a writer or you do crafts or you do painting or whatever, we do 4 25-minute blocks working on our projects. And you are always welcome. Just show up. There's nothing to it. It's not, the channel's not even monetized. It's just, you're just always welcome. And it's every day. All right. Have a great day. And just hang in there. There are very good days ahead. And Steve's on to something. There are some really good days ahead. All right. See you tomorrow.